Why are Western leaders allowing for Islamization? I mean, at this point, it seems pretty clear to us that this is just stupid. Like, there's no smart logic in it. The anti-Islam, the anti-immigration wave is growing. We now know in America that this is like the top three issues are socialism, anti-Islam, and anti-immigration. Okay, so if you're somebody, a leader in a country, it would make sense that maybe you would start to be against it or recognize the issues with it. I mean, it's definitely good for your voter base. There's one man online that we actually haven't covered here nearly as extensively as we should, because it turns out that he's somebody who's really thought through a lot of these topics. Thank God he also has a big platform and a lot of exposure. And so today we're going to be reviewing his thoughts on everything that's going on in Islam and why these leaders are not really doing what seems to us as kind of pretty blatantly obvious that should be done at the moment. Okay, are you guys ready for a little Victor?
Hello, this is Victor Davis Hansen for the Daily Signal. We've had a lot of incidents worldwide of Islamic terrorism or threats of Islamic terrorism. The most egregious is in Bondi Beach, Australia, where two gunmen, a father and son, killed 16 people and wounded 40. How that happens in front of police who reacted very quickly, I don't know. They were only stopped by a heroic Syrian immigrant who tackled one of the shooters and disarmed him.
By the way, as of this morning, we just heard that a very similar attack was being planned in Manchester with three guys who were planning on doing something so revolting, so disgusting. I can actually pull up the details for you guys. 1 second. They planned to disguise themselves as Jews to infiltrate a march against anti-Semitism in Manchester city centre before opening fire on the crowd with assault rifles. The pair hoped to throw emergency services into chaos by paying people to make 999 calls across Greater Manchester, allowing them to slip away and continue their attack in the suburbs at the centre of the region's Jewish community. Saudi also planned to attack Christians, saying, God willing, after we finish with the Jews, we move on to the Crusaders. It would have been, according to senior detectives, the worst terrorist attack the UK has ever seen. And if you want to know what these people look like, can you see? I don't know if it's super duper clear, but guess what? They don't look like Victor, do they, guys? They don't look like Victor. All of this is to say that this is a very, 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 very topical issue. It's not just a one-off incident in Australia. This is happening all the time and being planned all the time.
The problem with all of this is that there was no needed reaction from the Prime Minister of Australia. We didn't hear, we have to be very careful about radical Islam. These two people got two guns legally that they should not have had since they were on a watch list with terrorist activity. And there was no reason that this one shooter, the father, had 6 guns, among them semi-automatic weapons, in one of the most gun-controlled societies in the world. We didn't hear that. Instead, we heard that they condone all extremism. This is not who we are. We, in the utmost, you know, the whole boilerplate. And then they said, we oppose all extremism, and it was a nanosecond before they said white extremism that had nothing to do with this.
I think that the decline of Western society is a huge contributing factor, right? If we go back to the example of a home. If you have a home, but it's not a home that you love and it's not a home that you care to protect, or it's a home that you're so focused on all the issues within it, then you might not be thinking about locking the doors, securing the borders or the boundaries, right? If you have a country that doesn't believe in its values, or it's so falling apart in so many ways, then you're miles away from actually thinking about defending it.